Just being super selective at the plate. Something we talk about every day is just pitch selection. And for me, honestly, the less I swing, the more success I tend to have, just because guys want to nibble at the zone with me. And so that's kind of been my approach this year, is just see as many pitches as possible and wait it out until I get a good one.
Sure. I'm sure it hasn't been the easiest week for you guys, just in terms of coming off of what was transpired last week. Just as players, how have you kind of responded to that, and how do you feel like you've kind of taken the messaging and just maybe some of the court play and trying to rebound?
Yeah, I think Coach challenged us this week to be really competitive, no matter the situation. And that's just been our main focus moving forward from last week on to this week, is just competing within the game, pitch by pitch, play by play, inning by inning. And I thought we did a great job of that tonight, and we'll keep that up.
What was his message to the team after the Southern game?
Just got to get better. I don't think he was too happy. I don't think any of us were really that happy. I think that's not something that we want to be remembered for this year. And so I think it's just about how you respond to adversity, and I think that was a pretty rocky patch we just hit, but it's how well we're going to overcome that and move forward as a team together.
What was practice like the next day?
It was a lot of fun, actually. And I know I'm probably crazy for saying that, but very different. But guys were competing in the box. I think we had an inter-squad that day where we saw 4 live arms. So a lot of energy that day, and we were playing for something, and playing for each other, with each other. And I think as long as we do that, we're in a good spot.
Lots been made of the whole phones situation. That's why I could describe it. What was sort of your reaction, or you guys' reaction to that thing?
I'm probably more addicted to it than I should be, so it's probably a good thing that I just leave it on the truck. But no, I think it's good. There should be one thought when you come into this place, and that's to win a baseball game and compete your hardest. And if phones are a distraction to that, then there's no reason that they should be in the locker room.
Hitting runners in scoring position, I mean, that's something that's been talked about a whole bunch this season as maybe a weakness of this team so far. What sort of changed tonight for you guys in that aspect?
Yeah, we put a big point of emphasis on it this week in practice, and then about when it comes down to the game, it's just about getting the job done. That's really all there is to it. It's just stepping in the box with the mindset of, I'm going to get the job done right here.
What's kind of prevented you guys lately from having that big inning that we saw a lot in the beginning of the season, 5-6 runs?
Yeah, I just think guys, we're not stringing them together. We might, get a single here or a single there, but I think today thought we hit the ball well with guys on base. We took our walks. We didn't strike out a ton tonight, which is huge. I mean, I think in our big inning, they made a defensive error, so that was big for us to get our momentum going. Paxton obviously had a great at-bat and walked right there, so that was huge. So we just got to keep going with moving the offense, and I think sometimes we get a little stagnant in spots, and we just got to get back to getting it to the next guy.
Does a night like this just kind of help build that confidence you're talking about? I mean, you guys came out and put up 10 runs. Just talk about just the confidence that seems to be running.
For sure, I think that's a confidence boost. It's the SEC though, and I don't think any game is going to be taken for granted here moving forward. So this one's got to be flushed tonight, and we're on to the next one for tomorrow.
Was part of the issue with, I guess, the hits and runs scoring positions, part of that just maybe just getting that approach too quickly and maybe being too eager at the plate?
Possibly. I think, when runners get in scoring position, pitchers are often going to throw, more off-speed pitches. Their intensity is a little bit sharper with runners in scoring positions because they don't want those guys to score, so they're going to make their best pitch. And as hitters, you just have to be super locked into what you're looking for at the plate and super committed to your approach, and I think we were tonight.
Are you like hunting a fastball more in those situations and trying to see if you can get something up that you can drive a little bit, or like what's your sort of approach with 2 strikes?
With 2 strikes, just battle, man. That's just a mindset.
2 runners on it. Yeah.
2 runners on. It just depends on the pitcher. If it's a guy that's going to throw a lot of fastballs, then that's what I'm going to sit on. If it's a guy that's going to sit there and spin at the bottom of the zone, just try and see him up and get something to hit the other way with some juice.
Would you say the work that you did in the offseason I think you said this just before the season started, that you wanted to sort of improve your ability to just take breaking balls, right? Do you feel like you've done a better job of that this year?
better. Still not as good as I'd like it to be. I think tonight, my fourth at bat, I didn't do a good job with that. So obviously there's still room for improvement for me, and that's still going to be a big point of emphasis.
It's just kind of a different type of resolve that you have to have against teams like this, teams like Arkansas, teams like Florida. Mississippi State was great too. It takes an extra level of focus, and I think that I was selling myself a little bit short earlier in the season by not getting my mind into the right place and it needs to be. But I'm fully focused now, and especially having 10,000 of the best fans in the country in the stands doesn't hurt.
Coach was kind of telling us that there was a game or a coach where he radioed in. He said, I need a guy that threw 3 straight sliders. One of the Omaha games last year against Wake Forest to kind of come out here. Was that, I mean, looking back on it, is that kind of a turning moment for you in terms of the confidence that Jay has, the team has, and just talk about it?
I would say it definitely was. If I'm not mistaken, that was a midweek. I think Coach put me in a really good spot, letting me get involved in a couple midweeks early on, kind of work through some things I was figuring out, and I think it's paying dividends for me now. So just looking to keep that up.
What were some of the things you were trying to work out?
I would say it was a little bit more mental. Just getting there's kind of a certain place mentally where I need to get to, where I'm going to pitch to my best ability. Whether I have my stuff or not, as long as I can get to that place, I'm probably going to be okay. So just getting back into that mentality I had in Omaha.
Does it take you some time maybe to get there? Because it seemed like there's been a few outings like this where after a couple batters, all of a sudden you're just unhittable, and that kind of happened today.
That's something I'm working on. Trying to really get that kind of focus right out of the gate, and I think that's going to be really important, especially when I need to come in situations like tonight. Luckily, I had some great run support from the guys to kind of pick me up there, but definitely looking to improve that.
What sort of changed for you, I guess, after that fifth inning, and then from that 6th inning, then from the 7th on, you were pretty much unhittable again?
I just kind of got angry, like mad. I don't have a better explanation for it.
What do you say to a guy like Michael when he makes an error like he did, and you're immediately in the game? Did you have a conversation with him or hear anything?
I was pretty locked into my bullpen getting ready, but things have happened in the field behind me before, and it's just generally the message is just pick them up. I mean, give them support. Let them know that you need them to make that next play for you, and you're going to get them another one. That's kind of how baseball goes. The ball will find you after an error, so just try to keep them in it. And I think that our guys have done a really good job bouncing back after some plays in the field.
You guys have won a couple game ones in SEC play. It's 2 and 3 that have been the problem, I guess. So how can you, or what's the key, I should say, to getting a win in 2 or 3 to win a series here in conference play?
I don't think there's any, just magic key to doing that. I think that we have the talent, and we have the right guys in the dugout, and I think we're starting to put things together. We're upping our competition level a lot. Practices have been really great these past couple of days, and obviously I have a ton of faith in our coaching staff to get us ready and prepared. And our pitching staff's elite. Everybody knows that. We're gonna piece it together.
What's been the difference between practices and really the environment around the team the last couple of days compared to the last couple of weeks?
It's just been very competitive. I think everybody kind of is just in a different mindset about it. I'm not saying that everybody wasn't fully focused at practice, but there's just a different level of focus that we've been having. And I think that's what it's going to take to win in a league like this. And when you have the talent like ours, all it takes is a little bit of competitive spirit.
What was Coach's message to the team after the Southern game?
Be better. We've got the right guys. Just be better. We need to compete better. We need to attack the zone more. This is kind of just from pitcher's perspective. I can't really speak too much on what he said to the hitters, but we need to get ahead early. Need to put them away late, and just trust your stuff.
You said anger is what fuels you when you're at the mound. Following the loss against Southern, would you say anger has kind of gotten into the rest of your teammates to fuel them as well?
I think so. I say anger. It's not so much like I don't know, like what you typically would feel with anger. It's kind of it needs to be controlled, just because you don't want to adrenaline dump after a big inning, especially if you're going into 3-4 innings. You got to kind of stay composed. But I would say that there's a different type of attitude that guys are having, kind of a prove it type of attitude where we're almost going out as, I wouldn't say that we're ever really going to be labeled as underdogs, but kind of that underdog mentality where we're coming right at you and we're going to give you all we got.
What was your reaction to the whole no phones thing?
Mine's in the car. I didn't even bring it in. I don't care. I'm on it too much anyways.
How much would winning this series, your first in conference play, mean to you guys? Just building momentum.
I think it would be big for us. We know we can do it. We know what we're capable of, and I think that this can be a great start to a series of wins stacked on top of each other.
Coach said he's hoping you guys can get some more of like a two-starter, one closer, and then piece together the rest kind of thing. Are you comfortable being one of those guys in that top three?
I'm comfortable in whatever position Coach Johnson wants me to be in. That's been my mindset through this whole season. All I want to do is help the team win. So whatever he needs from me, I'm there.
How have you been able to maintain this consistency between just being deceptive with the, just finding that balance with the deception with your fastball and your slider?
We have a great pitch caller there in the dugout, so I'm just trying to trust what he's doing and throw everything I throw with a lot of conviction. If it's an inside fastball, I'm going to get it in. Whether it's I'm not going to miss over the plate. That's kind of been a big thing. Is if it's in the dirt, get it in the dirt. Like if you're going to miss, don't miss over the fat part of the plate. Miss where you're going. So that's been big.